Hey everyone, this is Master Metal 777 here on YouTube. My real name is Joel, but that's not the point. Today's point is me talking about a movie. What movie, you ask? You ever hear of the X-Men? Well, the most recent movie is X-Men First Class. No, I'm not going to review the other ones. No. Well, maybe I will, I don't know. But today I'm focusing on X-Men First Class. What do I like about it? Or rather, what do I think about it? I like it. It's a really, really good movie. I think it's better than X-Men 2, and it's a lot better than, what's the most recent? It's a lot better than Captain America or Iron Man 2, because this is actually closer to the X-Men beginning. Like the first class of X-Men mutants, like Xavier and Magneto, and basically that's all this is, a new sort of origin story for the X-Men. Okay, let's talk about it. The film basically has like the beginnings of each of the original mutants, like Magneto and his time spent in occupied Poland back in World War II. And how he discovered his powers and how he grew to have his brooding nature. We get a little bit of Xavier's past, not really much, but it does help. It establishes a little bit about who he was, and what he is as a mutant. And both of these guys are played by James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender. McAvoy plays Xavier, Fassbender plays Magneto. And these guys are really good actors. I mean, James McAvoy was in Wanted. If you saw that movie, great. It's an okay movie. But Michael Fassbender, I don't really know who he is. I never really watched another movie with him in it. But from what I've seen, he's a really good actor. I mean, him as Magneto, spot on. Really spot on. McAvoy as a young Xavier, I was surprised. I mean, I was beyond surprised by his performance, because this is not the Xavier everyone saw in the first X-Men movies. This is a younger version. He's still very intelligent, still very wise, but I don't know. He's portrayed as a young college student, basically. He goes, parties, tries to hit on the ladies, but it just got to me. I don't know. I have a text, that can wait. But they portray him so differently, but I like it. It's so real. It's so awesome. And then you have Jennifer Lawrence playing Mystique, which, I don't know, she was pretty good. I mean, not astounding, but she was pretty good. I mean, it's Mystique. They do add a bit of a complexity to her, which I love, because she seems so simple-minded, in my opinion, in the first X-Men movies. It really pisses me off. And they added a bit of a complexity to her, and it's really interesting seeing that play out. But I'm talking about the actors when I should be talking about the plot. Sorry. The main villain here is Kevin Bacon as the Black King. I don't know his real name. Oh, right, Sebastian Shaw. And his plan is to start a war between the two superpowers of the world, which is the U.S. and Russia. This was set back in 1962, I believe, back when the Cuban Missile Crisis happened. And so, in this universe, he's the one that tried to start the war. And he's the one who instigates so many things between them. The missile stuff, the nuclear tension. And it's Kevin Bacon. You really can't go wrong. I find him to be a really good actor. He's great, in my opinion. He's great. But and then he's joined up by these two other mutants. I can't really think of their mutant name right now, but one of them reminds me of a really badly caricatured red Nightcrawler, who kind of looks like a very bad caricature of Satan, and that's one of the things that's the thing that irked me about that. That is you portray him looking like a bad deaf demon caricature. I could not help but groan at that. I'm like, oh, why? He could have looked so much better. And they could have given him a bit of a Nightcrawler thing, except in red. But no, they had to go for the typical Satan look. Ooh, I'm Satan. Look at me. I can teleport. I can do all this. I can kick your ass while teleporting. I am Nightcrawler in red. That's what he should be thinking. I am Nightcrawler in red. And then they have a whole slew of casts. Like they have Beast in the movie, which I thought was awesome. I think it was Scott Summers' dad, Alex Summers. Scott Summers, Cyclops, for those who don't know. And his dad, and he can hula hoop energy beams. Don't ask, just watch the movie. And Xavier and Magneto go out and search for these mutants, and they're trying to form this division of mutants in order to stop the Black King, Kevin Bacon, and prevent this war from happening. And in here you have all sorts of conflicts between the characters, like Mystique's wanting to be normal when really she looks like a blue alien with red hair. Hot, but she wants to be accepted into society. Beast has the same problem, although he's a lot less accepting to it, as Mystique does eventually. And you have these characters and their issues. They're a few of them are just stock, badass or badasses, But they just add to the story, in my opinion. They don't really get too much into them as far as Xavier and Magneto, who are beautifully portrayed, and it's just an overall excellently made movie. There are some problems with it, like continuity errors with the first film towards the end. There's just some things about it. I'm not going to give any spoilers here, and I'm not going to give you a whole plot synopsis on this movie, but there's just some continuity errors with the first X-Men films that I'm just like, wait a minute, are they trying to reinterpret it, or are they trying to give a prequel to all three of these? There are some things that eventually do fit, but then there are some things that are just like, no, wait a minute, they did this in the first three films, but they did it differently here. I'm not sure if they're trying to reboot the franchise. That's what is bugging me about this movie. Are they trying to reboot it, or are they trying to give like the prequel to all these films? That's what's bothering me. And I don't know. If they're trying to reboot the franchise, great. This is a great way to start it. I mean, after that mess with X-Men Origins Wolverine, that movie I'm kind of iffy on. But after that whole debacle, this is a great, startup to a new X-Men series. Which, but on the other hand, if this is like a prequel to the other X-Men movies, I'm just thinking, if you're gonna try to have continuity, at least watch the first three, and then look at your movie and think about, what the hell did we do here? But and let's talk about the effects now. I'm going to talk about the effects now. Shoot me, I don't care. There are a lot of CGI effects, I admit, but they're very toned down as compared to Iron Man or Spider-Man, because you kind of have to. I mean, with those movies you kind of have to, but this one, they're very underplayed. The mutant powers on certain kids, you gotta have CGI for that. Otherwise, you're not gonna show anything. Then they have a few cool practical effects. Like there's this room. There's this one scene with a room full of like gigantic mirrors. I think this is a metaphor for Kevin Bacon. Because Kevin Bacon is in those scenes, but I think it's a metaphor for his personality. I'm not sure. I don't know Kevin Bacon. I really don't. But and you know they even. Oh, I forgot. They have Emma Frost in there. One of the original X-Men. They have Emma Frost in there. I'm going nerd over this, but I don't care. They have Emma freaking Frost. She's portrayed by. Let me look at my computer. Fuck. I'm looking at a computer. I don't care. January Jones. I have no idea who that is. I've wasted my time. Okay, but Emma Frost, one of the original X-Men, and I was just having my own little nerdgasm about that, but. Her little mind tricks, they do use a lot of practical effects, like a kaleidoscopy kind of thing. It look cool. Professor X's things, you know, the fast-paced zoom-ins, the slow-mo, the whole woo with Kevin Bacon and his ability, you know, those effects were pretty neat. And those are really, really practical effects that have been used long before CGI, and they make it work very well here, very well, and I think this is gonna be a good shit. What's the word? This is gonna be a new standard for hero movies. I mean, superhero movies. I mean, you have to have CGI for certain things, but a good explosion here and there, or you know, a good camera trick here. And for this scene, this room with many mirrors, I just think that's so neat. You know, you don't need CGI for all those things. You can use practical effects, people. Computers are great. I'm not questioning that. But practical effects work. It works in Lord of the Rings, which I will review after some time. But, you know, this is going to be a new standard for future superhero movies. I hope they do it for The Amazing Spider-Man, which comes out, I think this year, maybe next year, I don't know. But if they do that for Spider-Man, the new one, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be so freaking awesome. But, yeah, again, what do I think of this movie? I thought it was good. It's really, really, really good. It's great, actually. But there are tiny flaws, tiny continuity errors, which I think fit more into a reboot instead of a prequel, but they personally kind of bug me right now. But it's very well acted. There's one scene with Xavier and Magneto that made me get all teary-eyed because of what they talked about, the subtlety, the nuance, the emotion showed. It was a thing of beauty. Beautiful, beautiful scene. If you watch the movie, you may see that scene the same way I did, if you catch it. But, such a good movie. And I think it's going to get a few Oscar nominations. I am pretty sure on that. Best visual effects, best screenplay, the writing is just great. Best supporting actor for Michael Fassbender, because he is great as Magneto. I mean, he is fantastic. I don't like making Oscar predictions because I'm very iffy about who the Academy picks, but such a good movie. And yeah, this is kind of my review. If it feels all muddled, I did this completely off the cuff. I just watched it recently for the first time, and this is all off the cuff, and this is just my gut reaction to this movie. I didn't watch it over and over. This is just my overall gut reaction. I thought it was a good movie. There are flaws. There are continuity errors that I caught. Again, the actors in it range from excellent, Michael Fassbender, great, James McAvoy, and good, okay to good, which is everyone else. I mean, Kevin Bacon, he does a pretty good job. I don't know anything about the Black King in the X-Men comics, but he, from what I saw, hey, good job. You go, Kevin. But yeah, I give it a thumbs up. A 3 out of 4 stars at least. And that's my review of X-Men. I may do more of these, so if you stick around, you may see more movies. Some excellent, some good, some my personal preferences, and some that just, if just movies that just suck. And there you have it. This is my first review, and this is Joel Castro signing off.